Hi there, it's Nicole from Mama Elephant with a stamp highlight featuring the I Like You greeting stamp set. This is a great stamp set that has lots of greetings, and then it has a couple of images in it, and I love the little mittens and then the play on words. So I decided to join those for an almost one layer card. I'm going to start with die cutting this rectangle from smooth white cardstock using the large all prettied up die. It has a great stitching detail around it and then a scalloped edge. And then I'm going to mask off all four edges with some Post-it tape. This is so I can stamp the mittens image from the I Like You stamp set all the way, all over this panel in kind of a pattern. And then I'm going to add a greeting as well. I'm going to start with the greeting so that I can stamp the mittens around it. But I masked off the edge so that I can retain that great scalloped design all the way around, and it kind of gives the illusion of a mat where there isn't one. There's the greeting. I stamped it with some archival ink from Ranger, and then I'm going to stamp the mittens all over this panel, and I'm going to flip them this way and that, just to give a little interest to the design. There are some cute little face images that you could even add to these if you wanted to. I decided not to after I got them all colored in. I like them as is, but you could definitely add the cute little faces to these images or the pairs that are in the stamp set. There's just lots of fun things you can do with those. Once I have all the mittens stamped, I can go ahead and peel off all of the Post-it tape to reveal that nice clean border. And then I'm going to start coloring in the mittens with the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. I did die cut this panel from some Bristol smooth cardstock. I have found that I like how the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers color on this much better than any other watercolor paper I have tried. You can see that the results are so much smoother, and it gives a really clean, nice, finished look where the paper doesn't pill up. Where I have found with a couple of the other papers that after coloring and trying to blend my Zig markers, it would pill a little bit. So I really recommend this paper if you're wanting to use these watercolor markers. I think the results are fabulous. I am just using two shades rather, per color. I'm tracing with the darker color first and then kind of pulling that color out and blending to give that nice variation of color, some nice shading. You want to clean off your lighter color on a scrap piece of paper every once in a while to clean off some of that dark color that it might pick up. So again, I'm just going to trace around and then take my lighter color, pull that darker color in towards the center for some automatic shading. The coloring is super fast this way. I chose to go with all bright colors of markers. I thought that would be really fun. So I've got blue, pink, green. I'm going to kind of have a teal color here, or a turquoise color. There's also going to be yellow, red. I think that's about it there. And then I'm just going to kind of alternate what I use for the cuffs on the mittens. I'm going to keep coloring all of these in. Just the same thing over and over, but the bright colors really add interest to this card. Where this is going to be a basically one layer design, I try to find ways to add interest and dimension without actually adding any layers or dimension, if that makes sense. A couple of the ways I'm going to do that is by adding some detail to the mittens, adding some additional stamping, and then I will pop up this entire panel with foam adhesive on my card base. I'm going to quickly just kind of speed through the rest of my coloring here so you can see how I did that. It's just the same thing over and over again. You could definitely achieve a similar look with Copic markers, colored pencils, any other kind of marker or coloring medium that you prefer. You could also maybe go with more traditional colors. I think this would also look cool if you stamped and embossed the mittens and then use the resist technique over them with either ink smooshing or the distress inks applied with the ink blending tools for that resist embossed look. Lots of fun ways you could use this same design, just different coloring mediums. Once I have all of these colored in, and I did miss the cuffs on that top one, I will fix that here in a second. I'm going to take the little mini hearts from the I Like You stamp set, and using the Mama Elephant Apple, Tutti Frutti, Lemongrass, Stargazer, and Fresh Mint pigment inks, I'm going to stamp a scattering of those little mini hearts all over the design just to kind of finish it off, fill in some of those white areas with a little pop of color. I purposely picked colors that were similar to the colors I used for the mittens. Once that's all filled in, I'm going to take a white gel pen and draw in some lines on some of the mittens to give them a little bit of a plaid look or a crosshatch type of look. I'm not going to do the exact same thing on all of the mittens. I'm going to kind of mix it up here and there. So on some of them, they'll have the little plaid look. Then I'm going to do some polka dots as well. I'm going to apply the Wink of Stella Clear Glitter Brush pen to the cuffs on some of these mittens. You want to make sure and clean off the tip of that marker on a scrap piece of paper because it will pick up some of the color from these markers. Here's that polka dot technique on some of the mittens. I like the assortment instead of doing the same thing on all of them. Go ahead and do one more polka dot here. And then I like the little crosshatch or plaid, so I'm going to take the Sakura glitter or Stardust glitter pen and do the same thing only that I did with the white, only this time with the Stardust glitter. It's going to give just a little bit of a different look. Really quick to finish up these. Then I'll go ahead and finish off with some Wink of Stella Clear Glitter Brush marker. I'll add some foam adhesive to the back of this panel and attach it to a white top fold card base from Simon Says Stamp. And that will finish off this clean and simple I Like You card with these cute little mittens. Thanks for watching this video showcasing the Mama Elephant I Like You stamp set. The supplies I've used are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.